Hey Sag, it's Ryan with Arrows of Love. Welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to do your mid-November 2021 Love Tarot and Astrology reading. As always, if you like these videos and would like to see more of them, please click the like button and subscribe. It helps the channel and is very much appreciated for me, and you get to see more of me. Hope you're all doing well. I just got back from a 10-day vacation in Mexico. It's very relaxing, met some really great people. Just had to get away for a little bit. I've been very busy with work and Casey and family and daily life, so I haven't had a ton of time to do the videos lately, but autumn is starting to wrap up. It's starting to get cold here in Minneapolis. I'm growing out my beard. It's time to get back to the tarot and start talking about things. So we have a lot happening at the end of the year. So we have eclipse season coming back, and this is going to impact you directly, Sag. We also have Venus retrograde coming up at the end of the year. That will be a big one for you. Could be impacting money and income, potentially self-worth. And then we just went through kind of a tense square between the malefics of our solar system. Mars sitting in Scorpio with squaring Saturn in Aquarius. And for you, Sag, this is your 12th house and your 3rd house is being activated. Scorpio is 12 signs past Sagittarius. Aquarius is 3 signs past Sag. So 3rd house, 12th house, this is digging deep into information or information being revealed. The 12th house is a hidden house. It's known for isolation and confinement. It's also known for self-sabotage. It has this element of escapism sometimes as well. So got to be really careful with drinking, drugs, sex overall. Vedic astrology, the 12th house has a lot to do with intimate matters. Again, it's things unseen, coming to light. 12th house is not an easy house to deal with. And with Mars, it is dignified in Scorpio. Mars rules Scorpio. And then you have Saturn, which also rules Aquarius, sitting in Aquarius. It's the gas pedal and the brake coming together. And it's saying, hold on, pause. Let's not rush anything just quite yet. It's Saturn basically saying, hell no, you're not going through this right now. So things could be bubbling up slowly but surely right now with that 12th house being activated, or perhaps you're uncovering information, digging around for information, perhaps to just be careful with that. Sometimes there are unintended consequences when you start fishing around for information that you don't necessarily want to see. So 12th house has to do with research, 3rd house has to do with communication. So perhaps there's just some weird communication coming out that you didn't see coming overall. That aspect between Saturn and Mars is separating. It perfected yesterday on the 11th, today's the 12th. So it's slowly separating, but these are slow moving planets. So you could still be dealing with the lingering effects of whatever this is. Now, next week on the 19th, we have a lunar eclipse in Taurus. And the nodes of the moon are going to be changing. So, Sag, you were the cosmic favorite for the eclipses in 2021 and late 2020. They were happening in your sign and Gemini on that axis. So it had a lot to do with you, your body, your presentation out into the world, your identity, and your relationships, your close relationships, your friendships, your business partnerships. Things were changing in all of 2020. I say like the latter half of 2020 and all of 2021. So this is it. It's kind of like a graduation. You're not going to have the eclipses again for another 9 years in your particular area. And you have the South Node in your sign. The South Node is about spirituality. It's about healing. It's about otherworldly things. So things that like you can't really explain could have been coming out right now. And your ruler Jupiter is sitting in Aquarius as well. That's your 3rd house of communication. It's going to be moving forward into Pisces at the end of the year. Pisces is your 4th house of home, family, foundation, foundation, ancestry, property, and Jupiter just expands whatever it's near. So maybe some of you buy another house, perhaps some of you move houses. My brother is a Sagittarius. He's looking at houses right now. I keep telling him to wait until the end of the year, until Jupiter is essentially in that 4th house, so you get all the benefits of that. But this energy is starting to build right now. So some of you could be contemplating a move. Some of you might be looking at family heritage, looking at anything to that effect. Could be coming up. Motherhood comes up here as well. 4th house has a lot to do with motherhood. taking care of people, comforting people, healing people. It has a lot to do with that fourth house. But it's still, your ruling planet Jupiter is still in that third house of communication. So looking carefully at your friends, how you communicate with people. And again, there's this healing protective aspect because you are ruled by Jupiter, and Jupiter and Saturn are still in that house. So it's a give and take. It's a push and pull. It's restrictive and expansive at the same time. So it could have felt like if you're working on things, either with a partner or a relationship or business partnership, it could have felt like you're taking 2 steps forward, 1 step backward the entire year. And that energy is going to separate because Saturn and Jupiter are going to be, well, Jupiter is going to be switching signs. Saturn's still going to be in your third house of communication until March of 2023. So we still have a ways to go with this energy. But Jupiter in the fourth is very beneficial for healing family issues, anything dealing with property. Could come up here over the next year in 2022. But getting back to this particular eclipse, I want to talk a little bit about what your ruling planet's doing because there's some changes coming up here. But getting back to the lunar eclipse in Taurus, that's your 6th house. Taurus is 6 signs past Sagittarius. The 6th house to the ancient astrologers is known as Mala Fortuna. It can be a house of misfortune. 6th house is not always a pleasant house. It's known in modern astrology as a house of health, service, work, routine. The ancient astrologers said that this was a house of slavery and bondage and disease. So things could come out during this time. Perhaps you got to go to the doctor, things lurking underneath the surface, essentially. And with the luminaries opposing each other, it's bringing light to anything. So if anything is bringing light over the next, energy is growing right now. If you need to change something with your health, your diet, your exercise, your routine, take a look at that because the energies are pointing you to something that might need to be released or let go. And the luminaries opposing each other is always a shining of the light. So things come about during a lunar eclipse. The light is being shown during the lunar eclipse. And again, these are hidden matters. So we'll see how this all works because the sun will still be in Scorpio, your 12th house of hidden things, and that 6th house of health, work. That's where the moon's sitting. The one thing I do want to mention, though, is that the moon in Taurus is exalted. So it could actually be something that comes about, is a little, I'm not going to say scary, but it could take you by surprise, but it could also resolve very quickly because the moon in Taurus is exalted. So it's kind of like little pixie dust comes along and magically resolves the issue. So it could actually be very good for you overall. Now, 2 weeks later, after the lunar eclipse, we have the solar eclipse in your sign. This is the last one. It's going to happen at 12 degrees of Sag. So if you have any planets, personal planets, so that's Sun, Venus, Moon, Mercury, Mars, within, I would say, 9 to 15 to 17 degrees of Sag, you're going to be impacted the most by this. And this is a new moon solar eclipse. So the light is literally being blocked by the moon. So something is hidden during this time. And it takes anywhere from 2 weeks to 6 months for this information to come about. Something is changing about you, your identity, your purpose, your body, your presentation out into the world. First house matters because this eclipse is happening. Solar eclipse is happening in Sag. It's the last one. So it's kind of like, did you get the messages over the last year, Sag? Did you make the changes that needed to be made? Because the luminaries will make this perfectly clear to you if you didn't do the work. But Sag, you're an intellectual sign. You're pretty in tune overall with the energies. So I imagine you've been doing the work anyway. So this particular solar eclipse should actually go fairly well for you, I think. Now, once we get through that energy, Venus is in Capricorn right now. Venus is the planet of love, harmony, relationships, aesthetics, comfort, money, and it's in your 2nd house. And Venus is the lord of the 2nd house, so that's always very good. The 2nd house has to do with earned income, money make from the business you own, money make you from the company you work for. So when Venus is traveling through the 2nd, a lot of times we can see a boost in income. You could get an unexpected raise, a windfall of some type. And then Venus is going to be traveling all the way up till about 27 degrees of Capricorn, station retrograde, and then move back to 11 degrees of Capricorn and then station direct to move forward again. And good old Pluto, alchemical Pluto, is sitting at about the 27th, 26th degree when this finally happens. So Pluto is very much involved in this particular Venus retrograde, and it just adds to the dynamics of this retrograde cycle. Pluto is always about power dynamics. It's about fear and release, death and rebirth process, riches. Pluto literally means riches. So the unexpected windfalls could come out about this time. Unexpected expenses could come out at this time. Some of you could be losing a job. I hate to say that, but with the second house being activated here, not all of you, but just be aware, like sometimes there's a loss of cash when Venus goes retrograde in the second. So be sure you have enough reserves and a cushion to absorb any unexpected expenses, or if you were to lose a job, for instance, making sure that you have enough to get by for a few months. So I want people to be aware of that now. It can be difficult. Venus retrograde, aside from being in the second house, has a lot to do with reviewing relationships, right? What's working for you and what's not. It's not a time to be getting into a new relationship necessarily. A lot of times when people come around during this time, if you're single, they're connected to someone else, and maybe they're taking a break and you hit it off really good, and then Venus starts moving forward again in the sky, and lo and behold, they go back to their previous partner. So telling everyone that not necessarily a good time to be getting into a relationship, but people come back during this time too, old lovers, old partners. 9 times out of 10, they're looking for closure. It's not to resurrect the relationship, although Pluto's involved, so rebirth of some type can very well come up. You never know, right? How this all shakes out. But 9 times out of 10, it's somewhat looking for closure, and I tell everyone that. So Venus will start retrograding toward mid-December. Will retrograde all the way through the end of January, and then start moving forward again. So Venus is going to be in Capricorn for the next 4 months or 5 months. Reviewing foundations, possessions, material goods, your income, your bank account, seeing how that's working for you. So I want you to be aware of that, Sag, but I think the big one for you ultimately is this solar eclipse in your first house. Again, something's changing with your identity. Something's going to be purged over the next 6 months, so something new can come in. It's big endings, big beginnings, always. So that's what you can expect on the astrology. Let's take a look at the tarot and see what's going on for you in love. As always, these are general readings. The messages won't resonate with all of you. Take a look at your ascendant, moon, Venus signs. If it's not Sagittarius, sometimes those messages will resonate more with you depending on what's happening in your natal charts. If you like these videos and would like to see more of them, click the like button and subscribe. Get to see more of me. It's very much appreciated. So at the end of November, it'll be 1 year for me on YouTube. So I have about 2,700 subscribers right now. Channel is growing slowly but surely. I've had a lot of personal readings, a lot of new clients. So I really do appreciate you, Sag. I get a lot of Sag viewers. I have a lot of Sag in my chart. My brother's a Sag, my dad's a Sag, Casey's a Sag. Casey's at dog day today. He needs to go see some friends and run around. Otherwise, I'd have him on here. But a lot of Sagittarius in my life. You guys keep it interesting. The cosmic comedians, after all. All right, let's see what's going on with you. We're going to do 6 cards from the tarot, 1 card from the angels for the general energy. I feel pretty good about that. Give the angels a little shuffle here. Oh, this one wanted to come out. Soulmate. Yes, this is your soulmate. Oh, here we go. So I feel like you had this one about a year ago, and kind of throughout 2021. So many of you have been grappling with this energy, and that has to do with that first house, 7th house activation with these eclipses. 7th house is marriage partnerships, or your friendships, your sexuality. And it has a lot to do with you and others, and figuring out who is your soulmate, right? you know. It's all here for you. So let's see what's going on. Nine of Swords. So you're obsessing about it. Seven of Cups. Two of Pentacles. Four Wands. King of Cups. Nine of Swords. I'm laughing because like this is just typical Sagittarius energy, right? Like you guys, Sag is a sign of duality, right? The last four signs of the zodiac have all of us. It's Sagittarius, Capricorn, Aquarius, and Pisces. It's the last four signs of the zodiac. They're all very intuitive. I'm a Capricorn sun. My Venus is in Capricorn as well. In fact, my Venus and my sun are conjoined by 11 minutes, 0 degrees, 11 minutes, 28 degrees of Capricorn. So this Venus retrograde cycle is going to be hitting my sun and my Venus. So I'm very much involved in this, but this is very much also indicative of you thinking about your relationships and what's working for you and what's not right now. So at the center of the reading, we have the soulmate type energy. And it looks like there's a little bit of obsession going on. You're thinking about this person, they're thinking about you. You could be astral projecting and having a spiritual conversation with each other without you even knowing it. And you're wondering, is this the person for me? If you're involved in a relationship right now, you could be reviewing that. If you have just met someone, you could be reviewing that right now. Either way, there's some type of anxiety involved in this. I mean, that's always what this card is, right? There's some type of anxiety that's keeping people up late at night, saying like, there's something here, right? That has to be reviewed. There's something here that has to be explored. And you don't have all the information just quite yet. Seven of Cups. This is living pie in the sky. This is looking at options. But not all these options are very good, right? Some of them have this crazy looking snake thing. One has the wreath, one has the fruit. It's being a little disillusioned. And I think what the message is here, you got to be grounded. You got to tap into that Capricorn energy and come back down to earth and look at the situation really for what it is. If you've been grappling with, maybe you got many people on your radar and you're deciding, which one is the one, you already know. You already know. But for whatever reason, you're looking at options and you're trying to decide which one matches with me. And with the eclipses happening in your sign, a lot is changing with your identity. A lot is changing with your purpose. So I wouldn't be surprised if you are grappling with this right now. Because as your identity changes and your identity purpose, your purpose changes, chances are maybe your partners change too. And that's part of what these eclipses bring about. Sometimes it's about realizing a divergence in the road and whether or not you guys are going in the same path. And it's hard to come to terms with that sometimes. Others of you, you're gonna figure it out. You're gonna figure it out. You've been juggling a little bit here, and the new path will be immediately apparent to you. Oh, someone's paying me. I don't know if you heard that, but here it is, right? I mean, at the top of the reading, you have the Two of Pentacles, and there's some karmic loops here that have to be balanced. It's you juggling, it's you deciding. Twos always have to do with decision. So whether or not you are going to take one route or the next, which one is it? You'll have to decide. But in the distant past, it has something to do with union and celebration, possibly marriage too. This is the 11-11 card. Yesterday was 11-11, right? Perhaps something came out yesterday. I was talking about that Mars-Saturn square. Hidden matters, hidden communication, weird communication coming out. Could have been about a partnership of some type here. But this is you reviewing the foundation of that relationship. Being a little obsessive about it, maybe. Is this the right one for me? Could be a little disillusioned right now, too. Just with that Seven of Cups energy. But what it comes down to, at the bottom of the reading, is the King of Cups, Cancer, Sagittarius, or Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio. Got Scorpio energy happening right now, right? That's where the sun's sitting at. Pisces energy is coming up. Got Neptune over there. Your ruling planet's gonna be moving into Pisces very soon. But the King of Cups is an emotionally mature person, and so you gotta come back to center. You gotta do some meditation, and you gotta get in touch with your feelings. I mean, that's what this comes down to. What do your feelings and what is true to your heart? And once you have an honest conversation about yourself, I think you're gonna come to that conclusion about which way to go here. If you've been juggling, if you've been deciding, there's a new route for me, there's a new path for me. Going round and around here. There's a little bit of obsession. It comes down to emotional maturity and who's gonna fulfill you emotionally. I mean, the King of Cups here knows exactly how to provide that form of love and your love languages. They get it. I mean, if there's anybody that gets it, it's this person right here. Now, I'm going to caution you. You got the Knight of you got the Knight of Swords here, and the Knight of Swords can be rash action, and it can be impulsiveness and making quick decisions. So I see a lot of decision making happening here, a lot of thinking, a lot of late nights, a lot of obsession, a lot of anxiety. But the outcome card here is quick action. Be careful. Be careful with quick action. Sometimes it's great. You know, it feels great to be spontaneous, have that spontaneous action, and fulfills that fiery need of yours, Scorpio or Sag. But you know, don't be rash. Take your time. Make sure this is the right fit, right? That's what this is all about. I'm gonna pull one more card to clarify. Let's clarify the Knight of Swords. Yeah, you're feeling nostalgic. Six of Cups. Something about the past is holding you back. Something about the past is bringing you back to something to make a decision. Could be an ex, could be an ex-lover, past lover, maybe clouded judgments of some type here, but this is you being nostalgic about someone. Be careful. Just take your time, Sag. There's no need to rush this. If it's meant to be, it's meant to be. It's soulmate energy. If you're going to be together, you're going to be together. There's no need to push it through. You kind of just need to let things unfold naturally. But it looks like you need to do some work with these guys, okay? Clear your thoughts, do some meditation. Don't let it bug you. If it's meant to be, it's meant to be. All right, hope you enjoyed the reading. Until next time, talk to you later, Sag.